Maya hauled the last box into the sparse apartment. The air still held the chill of a fresh start, a stark contrast to the stifling remnants of her past relationship. She wanted a clean break, a sanctuary away from him. This place, with its bare walls and quiet corners, seemed like the perfect escape. She hung a few pictures, remnants of a happier time. As she stepped back to admire her work, her gaze fell upon the antique mirror leaning against the wall. Its ornate frame was tarnished with age, the glass itself clouded with a thin film of dust. Maya ran a cloth over it, revealing a clear reflection staring back at her. For a moment she swore her reflection flickered. A trick of the light, she reasoned, shaking off the unsettling feeling. Maya had always been one to see things differently, to find meaning in the abstract. But this move, this fresh start, was supposed to ground her, to bring her back to reality. Little did she know, reality was about to shatter. The first few nights were the hardest. The silence of the apartment, once a welcome change, now pressed in on her, amplifying every creak and groan of the old building. Sleep came in fitful bursts, haunted by dreams of fractured reflections and echoing whispers. One night as Maya washed her face, she caught it again. A ripple in the mirror's surface as if disturbed by an unseen breeze. Her reflection, however, remained still, its eyes locked on hers with unsettling intensity. She dismissed it as a trick of the mind, the exhaustion playing games with her already frayed nerves. But a seed of doubt had been planted, a creeping unease that refused to be ignored. The next morning she covered the mirror with a sheet. She couldn't explain the growing discomfort it brought, but she knew she wasn't ready to confront it. Days turned into weeks. The sheet remained draped over the mirror, a constant reminder of the unsettling feeling it evoked. Still, Maya couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, of a presence lurking just beyond her perception. One evening, drawn by an inexplicable pull, she found herself standing before the shrouded mirror. Her hand trembled as she reached out, hesitantly pulling back the sheet. The reflection that stared back at her was no longer her own. Gone was the familiar warmth in her eyes, replaced by a chilling emptiness that seemed to bore into her very soul. The features were still hers, yet subtly distorted, twisted into a grotesque mockery. The darkness that had flickered in the reflection now consumed it entirely, a palpable entity radiating malice. Terror, raw and primal, seized Maya's heart. She stumbled back, a strangled cry escaping her lips, but the reflection remained, its gaze fixed on her, a predator savoring the fear in its prey's eyes. Section 4, trapped in a gaze. Sleep, already a distant memory, became impossible. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw those vacant eyes staring back, felt the icy dread grip her soul. The mirror, once a mundane object, had become her tormentor, a constant reminder of the darkness that now clung to her. She tried to rationalize it. Stress, she told herself, lack of sleep. But deep down, a terrifying truth was beginning to dawn. The reflection wasn't just a figment of her imagination, it was real, and it was growing stronger. Desperate to escape the haunting gaze, Maya tried covering the mirror again. Blankets, sheets, even cardboard cutouts, nothing worked. The reflection always found a way through, its malevolent gaze piercing through every barrier she erected. The voice started subtly, barely a whisper at the edge of her perception. "You can't hide forever, Maya." It was her voice, yet not hers. Twisted, filled with a chilling amusement that made her skin crawl. Section 5. Beyond the Looking Glass. The line between reality and nightmare blurred. Exhaustion gnawed at her sanity, leaving her vulnerable to the insidious whispers that now emanated from the mirror. "We are one, Maya," the reflection hissed, its voice growing stronger with each passing moment. "You can't escape yourself." One night, the voice ceased its torment. Replacing the whispers was an eerie silence, more unnerving than any sound. Maya lay in bed, fear a tangible presence in the darkness. She knew, with a certainty that chilled her to the bone, that something was about to happen. Then, the scream tore from her throat. The figure from the mirror stood at the foot of her bed. Its edges were blurred, indistinct, as if struggling to maintain its form outside the glass prison. Yet those eyes, those terrifyingly vacant eyes, were unmistakable. They burned into her, reflecting back a terror she had never known. "You are mine," the apparition hissed, its form solidifying with each passing second. "And you will never be free." Section 6. Shattered Image. The next morning, police arrived at Maya's apartment. The landlord had become concerned after not seeing her for several days. They found the door unlocked, the apartment eerily silent. Shards of glass crunched under their shoes as they entered the bedroom. The antique mirror, the source of Maya's terror, lay shattered on the floor, its ornate frame twisted into a grotesque parody of a smile. Of Maya, there was no sign. The only clue to her disappearance was a message scrawled on the wall, written in a hand they recognized as hers. It wasn't a reflection. It was me, all along.